Hello, my name is Mr. Eric, and I'm the Literacy Lab Coordinator here at Girls Inc. of Orange County. My pronouns are he and him, and today we are going to read the amazing book called Greta and the Giants. Get ready! So as you remember, every book has an anatomy, and that means there's different parts of it. What's the front part of the book called? The front cover. All right, good job. Now, what's the back part of a book called? You got it. The back cover. That spine on the side, that holds the book together. All right? Just like our spine holds our bones together. All right? So we're going to move on. We're going to go inside the cover. All right. So here's the title page of the book. It says Greta and the Giants, inspired by Greta Thunberg's stand to save the world. And when there's an illustration on the title page, usually it's a hint as to what the book's about, and it has a girl with a sign that says stop. All right, and then below there are two people's names, and both of them are Zoe's. That's unusual. We have Zoe Tucker and Zoe Persico. All right, Zoe Tucker is the author. That's usually always listed first, and the illustrator is Zoe Persico. All right, and that's the person that has all the images and pictures for the book. Are you ready? I'm ready. Here we go. There was once a girl who lived at the heart of a beautiful forest. Her name was Greta. One morning, things weren't quite as they should be. Greta stepped out into her yard, and there, huddled together in the shadows of the trees, were all the animals of the forest. A soft, silvery brown wolf stepped forward with his tail low to the ground. Please help us, he whispered. The forest is broken and we don't know where to go. The giants are ruining our home. The giants had always been there for as long as Greta could remember, but now they were worse than ever. They were huge, lumbering oafs, and they were always busy. They chopped down trees to build homes. They chopped down more trees to build bigger homes. The houses grew into towns, and the towns grew into cities. They built factories and shops and cars and planes. They worked all day and all night until eventually there was hardly any forest left. But the greedy giants had forgotten how wonderful the forest was. They didn't see all the little birds and bugs and butterflies and bears that trembled in the shadows. And no one told them to stop because everyone was scared of them. Everyone except Greta. Will you help us? Asked the wolf. Greta looked around her. The animals looked tired and sad. She had to help them. But how? Then Greta had an idea. The next morning, Greta went to the middle of the forest and waited for the giants to come. She stood alone, holding a big sign. The sign said, let's say it together, stop. She waited and waited. On the first day, the giants didn't see her and lumbered on by. And on the second, and on the third too. But on the fourth day, something strange happened. A little boy who had been watching Greta made a sign and came and sat down next to her. He didn't say much, but Greta knew he felt like she did. This sign says something different. What's it say? Listen. Soon, more people and animals saw what they were doing and joined in too. Let's read some of the signs together. I love Earth. Help, save our forest. Help, we love our trees. Our home is on fire. Stop. Who will help? Action now. Before long, a huge crowd filled the forest, stretching out to the city and the roads beyond. They stood together and waited. The crowd was so huge that the giants were stopped in their tracks. "Please stop," Greta cried. "Your greedy behavior is spoiling our home. You've broken the trees and trampled the flowers, and now the bees and birds have flown away. These animals are homeless and our forest is dying." After Greta had spoken, everything was silent. But then everyone in the crowd began to shout, "The smoke from your fires is choking the air. And please stop cutting down the trees. You can help plant some new ones and mend my home. We need to take care of our forest and live together. Will you please try?" they all said. The giants shuffled and fidgeted and stomped their feet on the ground. They were embarrassed and a little bit sad. You see, the giants were so busy building, they didn't see what they were doing to the forest or the animals who lived there. The giants felt terrible. "We're sorry," they said, and they promised to try harder. So from that day on, the greedy giants weren't so greedy. They slowed down and learned to sit quietly. They stopped working all the time and instead took up new hobbies. They stopped chopping down trees and learned all about gardening and living in the forest. They cooked, repaired, tidied, and shared. And before long, the forest became more beautiful than they could ever have imagined. Look at that. And look at the forest and the city are kind of together. There's trees on the buildings. There's birds flying through the air. The giants are sitting with their feet in the water, just relaxing. And look at the wolf. The great wolf is sitting there with Greta. All right. This story is inspired by a real girl called Greta Thunberg. Now, this is a true story. So I'm going to let you pause the video here, and I want you to read through this with a parent, or if you can read it yourself, read it yourself. And these are some things you can do to help Greta. This book was actually part of a support for an organization called 350.org, which is trying to keep the carbon dioxide levels in our atmosphere down low, which gives us more oxygen, obviously keeps things a lot better for our environment, okay? And unusual, but we do have the dedication on the back of the book. It says, "For Adam with love," from the author Zoe, and from the illustrator Zoe, it says, "To Mom and Dad for your continuous support and endless inspiration." This book is a very special book because it's telling a story, but it's also about a real person. That's not very common. So the story is inspired by a real person. It's kind of telling a tale that's similar to what Greta is really trying to make happen. So I hope you enjoyed this story, and I look forward to reading you another one soon. Until then, don't forget, you are strong, smart, and bold. Bye, see you later.